Morning, colleagues. Well, good morning, colleagues. Thanks very much for welcome our friends from the media for our regularly scheduled cabinet meeting. As we get on with doing the people's business, we have a lot of important work in front of us following the vote from the leadership review earlier this week. As you know, I indicated my intention to step aside as United Conservative Party leader. I'll be doing so as soon as the party is elected a new leader. That date will be up to the Leadership Election Organizing Committee. And I was pleased that yesterday Government Caucus met and affirmed its support for this approach, allowing the government to maintain the continuity and stability and to continue to focus on the people's priorities. For me, that's the most important thing. This is a critical time in Alberta history. We are determined to keep our eye on the ball, to continue to lead Canada in economic growth, and job creation, to keep our commitments, to fight for a stronger Alberta. Just last week, we won an historic victory at the Alberta Court of Appeal in the central part of our strategy for a stronger Alberta, which was the 4-1 decision striking down Justin Trudeau's No More Pipelines Law Bill C-69. I am working to get as many Canadian provinces and key organizations representing First Nations, businesses and others who care about the future of Canada's economy to support us as we go to the Supreme Court of Canada. And I'll be doing that next week at the Western Premiers Conference in Regina. I'll be continuing to promote our government's national leadership on knocking down domestic trade barriers at the New West Partnership Trade Agreement Summit next week. I'll be taking these messages as well to the Council of the Federation of Victoria in July. We will continue our fantastic momentum from our trip to Washington of last week, where we saw some of the most powerful people in the United States Congress supporting Alberta's pitch to become a larger part of North American energy security, and we will continue this summer to expand Alberta's presence in the United States, opening 3 additional advocacy offices, expanding 2 trade promotion offices, expanding our Washington team. Ministers Nixon and Savage will be traveling to Washington a month from now with the oil sands producers to discuss their plan to get to net zero emissions by 2050 in their operations. We'll continue to focus, and we'll be discussing some of this morning, on the challenges faced by the uncertainty in the global economy. We see growing signs of stagflation in Canada and around the world. It concerns us a great deal, and that is being felt by ordinary people in the rising cost of living and inflation and food and energy prices. We'll continue to provide real action to support Albertans through that. We've been providing more consumer relief than any Canadian government by a country mile. And we'll be discussing what more can or should be done to protect Albertans from this inflationary environment. I will say that while there are concerns about a global recession, I believe Alberta, in part because of the fiscal discipline that we've exercised in getting our fiscal house in order, we are in a better position to weather any future global economic storm at this point than other Canadian provinces. We'll continue to focus on Minister Cotton's great work to expand healthcare capacity, just last week announcing that we've already achieved 19 of the 50 additional intensive care beds that we committed to in this year's budget, and we'll continue to accelerate rollout of the strategic the Alberta Surgical Initiative to get more surgeries done and reduce surgical backlogs. We have more work to do in the legislature. We'll be hearing from Government House Leader about finishing up on government business in the legislature for this spring sitting. Having passed more legislation by far in the last 2 years than any legislature in Canada, even in the midst of 3 crises, because we've been so determined to keep our election promises, and there's more work to be done, including, for example, the work of the Property Rights Committee to achieve another platform commitment. So this is a demonstration that Alberta's government continues to do the people's business, continues to fight for this province, to work for a strong and resilient economy, to make life better for Albertans. Thank you very much.
So we're going to give the media about 5 minutes to get out, and then we'll get on with it, okay?
Thank you, guys. It's a long.